Okay, Andrea. The goal of this podcast is not to wake Stella up now that she's in here recording with us.
Why does she think she... Oh, see?
You let her in, and she walked off. Bye, baby.
Go get in your bed.
Daddy loves you. Is the podcast over?
That's terrible. Oh, wow.
I want to go hold Stella.
Mm-hmm. Your favorite thing to do, your favorite pastime.
Oh,
Is your stomach still recovering from
I'm working on it. It was a rough one. I had a full experience.
Tell us about your experience.
So this week the weather's nice, and I wanted to get Oliver out of the house. I'm telling you like you don't know.
Oliver's our 13-year-old.
Yeah, and he wanted to ride bikes.
It was beautiful.
And it was beautiful outside, and I said, okay, let's ride our bikes around the neighborhood. Well, I haven't ridden my bike in a little bit, so the legs are a little sore as we're pedaling around, but somehow we ended up, I don't know, how far do you think that is? A mile and a half?
A mile, yeah.
From the house. We're pretty close to a shopping center that has an Olive Garden in it, because when you're there, your family.
Well, first you went to PetSmart.
Well, we went to PetSmart to look for Stella toys, and I had already bought her treats that day, so I didn't want to buy any more, so I didn't need to. But Oliver sees the Olive Garden across the parking lot and says, hey, yeah, Oliver Garden. And he wanted to go there and be part of the family. And so we made the executive decision to go ahead, let's ride our bikes over there, and we're going to get some food.
So you sit at the bar.
So we sat at the bar.
What did you eat? Like some salad and just light fare?
Oh, no. We ordered meatballs, and we had Dr. Peppers, and we had salad, and we had breadsticks, and I had soup, and he got like a full pasta Alfredo chicken dish, and we sat there and munched, and 2 bowls of soup later, it was time to pay and go home.
And you forgot.
And I forgot that we were biking there, Andrea. So you can imagine how fun it was to ride a bike a mile and a half home with a stomach full of pasta and soup and
breadsticks.
Salad, breadsticks. Yeah. That was a little rough.
But did y'all have some good bonding time?
We had some good bonding time.
You got a little exercise.
Yes.
And you learned something.
Oh, I definitely learned something. I learned I'm gonna start a book of 40isms where don't eat Olive Garden and then ride your bike home a mile and a half. That's rule of acquisition 262.
That's a good one.
So yeah, we did good though. It was fun. Yeah. It was nice.
Y'all are cute. I like all your
we good
bonding adventures with your fishing and Pokemon.
We've been trying
all the things, but no pasta and
no more pasta. No more. I can't.
Mistakes were made. Lessons were learned.
So lock the bike up now. I don't know about the bike coming out for a little bit. Maybe the bike will come back.
No, just don't go to Olive Garden.
That's a lot to ask, Andrea.
Yeah, well, I guess.
It's a lot to ask.
Mm-hmm. I've been having so much fun, though, like getting texts and emails and DMs from our friends and fans. Show. Yes, they're listening. Oh, my goodness. That's been my highlight is like, it just makes me so happy to get feedback from people or hear what they loved or what they really connected with. I had a lot of people that really liked the game last week, and
the game.
Just you putting together plots from those random
people collecting dirt.
Yes, the random generator. So much fun with that. Still impressed by your brain, but a lot of good feedback too. A couple episodes ago, we talked about our like female main character and just like talking body types and stuff, and so just a lot of positive feedback around that of just the importance of body positivity and inclusivity. So really appreciated that. A lot of people really connected with the photographer idea. We have lots of fans of the photographer idea. Fun ideas for settings and people agreeing that we don't want to know necessarily. We don't want to spend time on how or why they have money, just that they do, so that we don't have to stress about them enjoying their lives. Yeah. So just really grateful.
The feedback's awesome. And it's really helpful too. If you want to send it, you can go to our website, ournextchapterpodcast.com.
Say that one more time.
ournextchapterpodcast.com. Or hit us up on Instagram or TikTok. Send us your feedback because we love receiving it. We love talking about it here on the show too. That's the other thing, is that it lets us share what you're thinking with the other audience that's not necessarily sending in notes, but it's all good.
Yes, thank you for sending that.
Especially in this phase where we're building.
Yes.
You know?
We love it. Oh, I guess we should introduce ourselves. We always forget.
Oh, let's do music first.
Okay, here's
Ready, set, music.
Our wedding theme song. Go.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. Welcome to episode 5 of Our Next Chapter. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Matt. And we're back for episode 5. And it's going to be a fun one. We've got a lot of fun stuff planned for today.
If you happen to jump in here as your first episode, we are a husband and wife,
Thank you.
A duo, been together since high school, 25 years together this year and 20 years married. And as we figure out what our next chapter looks like, as our kiddos are almost grown and have more time for ourselves, we've decided to write our first romance or rom-com novel. And so we're using this podcast to just document that process, our learning and journey of just finding our way as new authors and wanting to tell a story. And so we wanted to bring you along as the listener on that journey with us.
We're figuring it out.
We are.
You know what? I've got a secret that's not on our list for today to talk about, but I want to tell you that I did something.
I'm a little nervous.
You know Steamy LitCon. We've been talking about that this week.
Yeah.
It's coming basically Halloween of this year.
Yep.
I may have sent them an email.
Oh my goodness, I'm scared.
Seeing if they would like us to do the podcast live at Steamy LitCon.
Oh my goodness, that is a big jump.
I don't know. I just sent them an email. All they can do is say no, right?
Yeah, that would be amazing. And what a cool event in Anaheim on Halloween.
I know.
And we'd
have to make our way.
Lots of my favorite authors and lots of panels and discussions about romance writing, all the subgenres. Oh my gosh, so many subgenres of romance writing and books. So that would be cool. All right, well, keep me updated.
I'll let you know. Maybe we need the audience to message them and say, hey, we'd love to see our next chapter.
Please send requests for a live our next chapter.
Let me think about that. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's your curveball for today.
That's a good one. Keep me updated.
What's your curveball
manifesting today? Okay, my curveball. Let me think. I saw this game on Instagram.
Yeah.
That looked kind of fun. I don't know if it will be or not, but so basically there's no preparation, there's no setup.
Uh-oh.
You just say 3, 2, 1, and each of you says,
and we take off a piece of clothing.
No.
Oh.
You're always with the removal of the clothing.
Oh.
No, so you each just say a word, any word, and then you take those 2 words, and the goal is you're trying to match words. So we start with 2 words, and then we try to think of something that might connect them, and then we say 3, 2, 1, go again, and we say another word, and we try to see how many rounds it takes us to get to saying the same word.
Same word. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be fun to play.
Yeah.
It's just like get our brains into author mode.
I like it. Well, if we're gonna do it on the show, we should do it for we should have specific words to start with, like romance adjacent words.
Okay, something like related.
Yeah, something related to the podcast. So number 1, we should be Stella.
Okay, well, that one's already done. Let's just
beautiful,
pretend
perfect.
We matched and move on. Okay, wait, no, Stella was the word.
Oh,
okay.
I was guessing words.
All right, next round of the game.
Next round of the game.
Okay, so we each think of a word somehow related to our book. No, what? No.
You want to tell that story?
I do not.
Okay, we'll save that for next time.
You can't just set that up though and then leave it. And now I have to talk about it's like the word. This is a warning for anyone who hates this word. If you might need to bleep it out, the word moist.
Oh.
I know some people get cringy around that, but I was telling Matt a book I was reading that was pretty spicy, and it I just hate when they call a girl's parts her heat. It's terrible, especially as somebody who worked as a veterinary technician for years. We talked about dogs being in heat, and so that's all I think of is it's just awful. Why that? It's such a terrible word, and
we won't use that word in a book.
We will not.
Okay.
It's such a buzzkill. And so, anyways, yes, no, you may not say that.
We can't use heat as our first word.
No, stop saying it.
It's okay. My bad.
Okay. All right. Let's try this
All right.
game.
Let's do it for real. I keep
Okay.
pulling you off sides. It's your turn.
Okay. I gotta think of my first word though.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, you got to tell me what we have to start with the word, don't we?
No, we say 3,
Oh,
2,
just
1.
Any word?
Say a word.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
and then
let me
try
think.
to connect those two words.
Okay, let me think. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Meet
Kissing.
cute.
Kissing and meet cute.
It's hyphenated, so it's one word.
Sure. Okay. Kissing and meet cute. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Romance. Woman.
That's all I had. Yeah, I was trying to get away because they were already kind of close. Woman and romance. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. I got one.
You do?
Yeah.
Woman and romance. Okay. Can it be a 2-word thing?
Sure.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Relationship.
Pretty woman.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, relationship and pretty woman. Okay.
Okay. I have one.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Richard Gere.
I said hooker. That was the relationship. That's how they met.
That's true. That is how they met. All right, you won that one.
Richard Gere and hooker. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Julia
Roberts. Hey, we did it.
I don't.
Okay. We can do this again. Let's try it again.
Okay. Maybe.
Let me think.
Okay. I'm ready. Oh wait, no, I'm not ready. Okay. Do you have a word? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Stella.
Comedy. No, it cannot be Stella.
Why can't Stella?
We already established. We've talked about her, and now she's
comedy and Stella.
No, Stella is not the word. Now I've already said my word. Dang, it was so hard to just come up with one. Now I've ruined it. We wasted the good surprise on you. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Career. Friends and career.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Friends, career.
All
right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Paleontologist.
Oh, you went friends. I meant like friends to lovers.
I said I love a good friends reference.
Oh man.
What was your word?
Boss.
Boss and paleontologist.
I was trying to get to like that sexy boss space, you know.
No, I thought actual friends, and then I'm like, which friend would I pick their career? I should have picked Chandler because nobody knows this job.
Transponster.
No, but we both agree Ross is the best friend.
That's true.
And so I chose paleontologist. Trying to explain my thinking. Okay, so paleontologist and boss.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Museum.
Indiana Jones.
That's a good one.
Paleontologist.
That's a good one. I don't know. Yeah. No. Something like that.
He's the boss. I mean, Harrison
That's a
Ford.
good one.
Have you watched him on Shrinking yet? Man.
No.
So good.
I haven't.
Such a fantastic show. If anybody hasn't watched, you should watch.
Okay, what'd you have? I had museum, and you said Indiana Jones. Oh man, we're getting closer.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and museum.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Exhibit.
Snakes.
Oh, snakes is a good one.
Snakes exhibit. Okay.
Snakes and
I have another word.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Zoo. Hey, we got there.
I don't think we're very good at this game.
You know,
people on the video got there in like 2 or 3 rounds.
Let's do it one more time.
Okay. I gotta think of another word though.
Okay. You think of another word.
Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Per heat.
Stop saying that word. I've moved on from that. Not heat. Terrible.
Heat and plot. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Spicy. Yay! We did it.
We did it. Okay, we have to stop because
that was it.
We won the game.
We're in the mood. We're in the vibe now.
I know.
We're in the creative space.
I'm ready to do it.
I like it. I like it. We can move on.
Let's talk more then about our spicy plot.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is something I was thinking at some point we're going to have to discuss. So in these books, they talk about like you have to decide if it's a closed door romance or open door, and it's basically just how descriptive you are about like the sex scenes.
Gotcha.
So something to think about.
So her heat would be where on that
I
schedule?
swear if you
What?
say that one
I'm just saying, is that open or closed door? That's all I want to know.
I was vulnerable with you and I shared something that perturbs me when I read, and now you're using it against me.
What do you
and
mean, darling?
You're using it to stir me up,
Sweetheart,
and I
what do you
don't
mean?
like it.
I don't
I
understand.
can't. This just tells me like you're not a safe space. I can't tell you how I'm
Darling,
feeling.
I don't know what you mean.
No, let's talk about our spicy plot.
Okay.
Last week we finally settled on our female lead being some type of social media manager or like manager to a celebrity or influencer.
Yeah, that's about as far as we got. And
yeah.
I think like you said, let's start to round that out a little bit. Like, who is she? Who is, like, what does the influencer do? Are they a travel influencer? Are they a food blogger? Are they a
what kind of celebrity?
Kim K style just influencer?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you thinking on that? What would you like to see them be?
I'm not sure. I think it could fit the plot. So maybe that's one of the, I don't know, depending on what role we need her to play, maybe that's kind of adjacent to what we need them to do.
Yeah.
In my head, I think the relationship, like how they got together, is kind of important. Like
between her and the celebrity.
How they got together.
Got the job.
Yeah, I don't know if she's always been a manager. Maybe. I mean, maybe this is just one of her clients, and she's got 100, and it's more like
about that.
Ballers or
in my mind this was like her one job, that she just worked with this one person. But if she's like
maybe she
owns an ER agency or something, then she may have multiple clients. I don't know. I guess in my mind, like I said, I had her just working with this one person, that was her job, her life.
I like that.
But to me it's like she just has very like oldest sibling, oldest sister vibes. All those memes and reels and things online about like just the oldest sister traits and characteristics. I feel like that. And so in my brain it's like I see her really caring about this person. Like I could see this person being her sister.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, that's good. I love that. I love that, because then we can use that relationship.
Yeah, and then that explains too how she would get the job.
Yeah.
And then that could be her only job, is just working for her sister. But yeah, I guess in my mind it just seems like this is just an extension of their childhood. Like I don't know if maybe they had an absent parent situation, or maybe like single mom that was working 2 jobs, who loves her kids, She's a survivor. No, but just thinking that maybe when they were younger that her job was looking out for her sister, taking care of her, and now it's become an extension into their career, that the sister somehow got famous.
I like that. I mean, you're building this character to be pretty type A.
Yes.
Like very responsible, but also like feels responsible for
yes her sister. Like her job is protecting her sister and keeping her safe. It kind of makes me think of the second season of Bridgerton, where who you think is going to be the lead, this younger sister who comes, and her older sister is like her guardian, in place of a parent, to go and she's going to enter the debutante season basically to try to find a husband. And she meets the oldest brother of the Bridgerton family, and he ends up kind of over time falling for the older sister, but she's just so focused on her younger sister, and her whole life has been taking care of her and looking out for her and keeping her safe and thinking about her future. She's never so much thought about her own. And so I could see ours being somewhat similar, where she's just always been looking out for her younger sister, and now she works for her as some kind of a manager, which would just evoke all of those mama bear, protect her at all costs, because it's not just a job for her. This is her life. This is her family.
Which I think is a millennial truth too, for the most part, because we talked about this character being around 35-ish.
Yeah.
That makes sense that, more than any other generation, I would say, that millennials find their identity in their career.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you start to chip away at her relationship with her sister or say anything about her sister or her job, it's like almost a personal attack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think too, we could really play with the age of the sister, because if our lead is 35-ish, what if the sister is 25-ish? You know, what if she was born when she was already 10, and so she really does feel very motherly towards her and very protective.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could.
I do like the single mom thing. I think there's a lot of energy there, and you know.
Oh man, mom could be a fun character.
We love single moms.
Yeah, absolutely. And that could be a lot of fun to write, whoever their mom is, and how she's connected and like what their relationships are like with her. But I think, like, in the name of vulnerability, if it's a safe space to tell you, I think,
hey, bring the heat.
I swear.
What, darling?
Matthew?
Yes.
I think one thing I just keep thinking a lot about as we are working on writing this is that I think I'm feeling a little bit of like imposter syndrome, because, well, I mean, we've never written a novel, yes, but it's just not my background. I feel like, you know, I was a biology major. I was trained as like a scientific writer, which is very factual, brief and to the point, removal of any kind of emotion. I mean, I laugh because even becoming a teacher can be very like that when you're writing like incident reports, or you're having to refer a kid to the office for some reason. They're very clear about only write the facts, remove all emotion. And so like that's how I was trained as a writer. And so I feel a little like out of my depth as we go through this. And so I think that's why I keep bouncing to you for, you know, what is it that when you talked about like the 10 beats and how we're going to fill out these 10 beats, like I have these ideas about these characters or different plot things that can happen, but I just think, like, here's your humble brag moment. Like, you have a master's in creative theory, like you write for a living, and you tell stories for a living through your advertising and marketing and things like that. So I just think it would help me just to have a better understanding. Like, could we spend some time maybe in future episodes of you just teaching me and maybe the audience if they're interested in, but like I just want to learn more about the process so I feel stronger about what we're doing, because I think we're coming up with some good things. I like where we're headed, but I want to have I want to feel more confident about this process myself and not so like fish out of water.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about bringing our whole selves to this podcast, and part of it is, you know, our passions, and one of them for me is creative theory. Like, it's really interesting to me, thinking through that, and I guess you just have to have a buzzer or something if I feel too mansplaining. That's my biggest.
Okay, yes.
My biggest
I would
concern.
be so happy to let you know if you get.
But I do like to share.
I'm asking you to teach me though.
My exciting stuff. But so specifically, you know, we talked about possibly having a little bit of a learning section in this podcast. So I have a couple notes here I would love to share with you.
Yeah.
And I think before we even get into writing books or writing stories or structure of that, my headspace, since we're in this ideation phase of the process, has been more around just where creativity comes from and how to ideate, how to be creative. And I can tell you, one of the very first models of creativity came around all the way back in 1926. A guy named Graham Wallace created the first kind of model of how people generate ideas and solve problems. And it's really a 4-step process. There's preparation, incubation, illumination, and then verification. And so the first phase is preparation. This is, you know, when people talk about the magazines you read, the books you're reading, the art you see on the walls, the life you're experiencing, these are all parts of the things you're bringing to your knowledge base, right?
So like us reading these books and
reading the
attending
books together,
author events.
Attending the events, even just talking about it here.
Yeah.
We're in this preparation phase of, okay, let's keep building ideas and shaping things, because by being able to compare one thing to another, you can really spark those ideas a lot of the times. So once we've got this preparation happening with the things we're reading, we filled our brain with all this stuff, we have this incubation period, and that kind of works in two ways. There's a focus mode and a diffuse mode in this phase. There's a focus mode where we're like focusing on, let's sit down and have ideas, right? And through this incubation period where we're sitting here going, okay, what's the character's name? What do they do, right? That's the focus mode where we're focusing on the problem. But then there's also, you know, a lot of people will tell you, and I'm sure everybody who's listening has experienced this before, you're taking a shower, you're washing dishes, you have that great idea, right? Something pops into your head and you're like, oh yeah.
When you're like not really thinking about it, you're doing something that's just really
100%
routine and monotonous. And
yeah, your brain's able to kind of free up some brain space to think about what you really want to have ideas about. And so, around here, we've been doing that a lot where we'll walk past each other and be like, hey, I had this idea for the podcast, da 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 da. And then we'll go make the bed or do some dishes or laundry or whatever. And all of a sudden it's like, well, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, we should do X, Y, and Z, right? Yeah. So that's the incubation period. When you have the idea, step 3 is illumination. That's literally just the act of the aha moment, right? Yeah. Where you're like, oh man, that's something.
Yeah.
And then we get to verification, where once you've had it, you start to test it, refine it, and validate that idea. You start to go, well, does that really work, right? Is it, I know I had this idea spark, not every idea fits perfectly. You may write it down and put it on the wall.
It makes me think a lot about when I was teaching, I taught design cycle, and it sounds a lot like is design cycle an evolution of?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. So what's really interesting to me is learning the early models like this preparation, incubation, illumination, verification, your design thinking, these fast iteration models. They're all based off of this same 4-step process. They just add more steps, honestly. And so if you want to get down to the basics, that's kind of what we're talking about. Okay. And so this really applies to our writing process right here, because we're in that incubation and preparation phase where we're still thinking and we're having these illuminations, we're having these thoughts.
So it's just normal then for me to feel like sometimes it feels like it's really clicking and a lot's coming together, and then other times I feel like struggling, or I start 100%. Like my brain just instantly starts to poke holes in everything I think of. I'm like, can this little, fledgling fire just get off the ground before I'm like throwing water on it? But my brain is very good at that part. So not so great for writing. But I think I really want to understand the process of what we're doing. And so if we could just like take time, like in the next episode, can we talk through like the 10 beats that you were mentioning last time? Like sometimes you're using these terms or you're talking about things, and I just feel I get that imposter syndrome where I feel like I can't do it because I don't know about it. And so I just really have this like desire to learn. Like I want to understand, and then I feel like I will feel more confident doing it, because just since the history of ever in my life, if you're going to give me a job, I first need to understand how my job contributes to the overall like company or process or whatever we're doing. Like I can't just go be a cog in the machine and just do my little part without understanding how my cog impacts the machine. So I just think like if I can learn more and understand more about the writing process, then I will be more confident about what we're doing. Yeah. And,
we can, I think that's a big part of this. I think we continue to discuss this. We can talk about things like the hero's journey, 3-act structure. We can talk about the 10 beats we're trying to get to that'll help us really put the story together. But the way I see it and the way that we're working together is that it's like I'm the bones, but you're the heart of this thing, and I need you to drive this, and make sure that we're on the right path and we're doing the right stuff. And that's why we work so well together, is because we both have different strengths we're bringing together to create something new and exciting.
I like that. So I'm not the weak link.
No, you're the heart and the heat. That's what.
That is so inappropriate.
What do you mean, darling?
It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And
so
I want to keep.
We keep talking about it. There's so much creative theory out there, even from the decades that started all the way through. Even the tests we took as kids, right? Like I don't know if you remember taking the test where they sit you down and they say, how many things can you think of?
The creative, gifted testing. Yeah.
That's a test that was developed in the 70s, which really creativity and the idea of creativity it was thought about in the 50s, 60s, but wasn't actually studied until the 70s, which is kind of interesting. So it's a relatively new field.
That's interesting. I just started a book yesterday that I've been wanting to read called Beyond Anxiety by Martha Beck. And she's like a Harvard, I don't know if she's a neuroscientist. She's not my author spotlight this week, so I didn't do a lot of research on her, but this just kind of thinking organically. She was saying that when she first started studying the brain and creativity, so the whole like purpose of the book is she had a hypothesis that it's proven that anxiety can shut down creativity. So her hypothesis can creativity shut down anxiety, like by doing creative things or thinking creatively, or even through like meditation and mindfulness, can that shut down anxiety? And so she was just saying that when she very first started studying, that for years that the initial thought was that your brain was like completely done and fully formed at 5 years old. And then it wasn't until much later that they started.
My brain's still not fully formed.
Well, yeah, now they've proven with neuroplasticity and all that, but it was just that wasn't that long ago, that people thought that at 5 years old your brain was fully formed and that you couldn't change, and that the way you were was the way you were. And so I think it's interesting too, because this book is talking about creativity and how to be creative. So I'm hoping by talking to you and by reading this book that like I feel like I'm a creative person, but I don't think I've ever thought about it so much as like a practice, as just something I would do. Like, oh, when I get stressed, I want to paint or color or whatever.
Another misconception is like, what is creativity, right? And is it painting? Is it art? Is it music? Well, yes, but it's also the interesting systems you have at your job. Like you create things and systems to get your job done. That's creativity. The other misnomer is that people think you're either creative or you're not. You've either got the bug or you don't, you know. You can go back as far as people talking about their muse and being, you know, possessed by their muse. Like there's a lot of history and theory behind that too. But in reality, creativity can be taught and can be learned, and it can be honed, you know, in anybody.
And I'll let you know when I finish this book if it can be used to suppress anxiety.
Oh, let me know. Hadn't helped me much.
Very helpful. But yeah, I mean, just if you'll put together things when we talk. I do. I really like. I want to be a student of this. Like, just this process, and I'm a big nerd, and I love learning. And so I'm asking, yes, please teach me.
We'll bring some more.
But yeah,
that structure stuff.
When I did talk about that, Martha Beck was not the author I was highlighting this week. Something I talked about last time was just starting different segments and things throughout the different podcasts. And one of the things that several people said that would be cooler that they wanted to hear about was like an author spotlight.
We should do jingles. Author spotlight.
Okay, you work on that, but I want to call it Author of the Week.
Author of the Week.
Perfect. Okay. So music TBD, but this week's Author of the Week.
Hey.
Because I was reading her book and I just finished it, my first book by Brynne Weaver, Brynnne Weaver. And she wrote Butcher and Blackbird, which is part of her Ruinous Love trilogy. And so this was something that went viral on TikTok, Book Talk. And so these books, she's from Canada, and now she's written several books, but this trilogy just completed her newest one just came out
this one does sound fun. You told me a lot about this one.
It's so fun. And I'm a little concerned about myself for how much I enjoyed it, because it's a very dark romantic comedy. So this first one, Butcher and Blackbird, it is these 3 Irish brothers who immigrated to America, and they all have different jobs, but it focuses on one of the brothers, Rowan, and he's a chef, which, you know, I love. I've been talking about the chef thing. But in his free time, he's a vigilante serial killer. And so basically he hunts down other serial killers or just bad people in the world to take them out. And so he runs into another vigilante serial killer,
as you
do, and so her name is Sloane, and it's their meet cute love story.
MEATQ.
MEATQ. And so it's like he kind of saves her when he meets her, and then they decide to do this annual game where they'll get a mark and they have to go and try to be the first one to take out that mark. And so I will say, Brynne writes content warnings at the very beginning of the book. Take those heed those for sure, because she is not joking when she lists out those content warnings at the beginning. But I will say it was a lot of fun. It was very spicy. It was definitely an open door romance, which she does cover in pretty specific detail in her content warnings. But it was so much fun. And I finished the book and I'm thinking like, oh man, is she okay? Because some of this stuff is pretty dark. And I started doing some research on her because I wanted to highlight her as the author of the week. And I saw this great interview where she said, people ask her, where do you come up with these ideas? And she said her husband hates when she says this, but she says it's from her sparkly brain soup. She's like, I don't know, it just comes out of my sparkly brain soup. I thought that was funny, but yes, super spicy. She has a bit that she loves ruining food for people.
Nice.
And so there's some cookies and cream ice cream in the first book. I hear there's something with cotton candy in this most recent
one. So all 3
one.
books are out, correct?
All 3 books are out. The first one focuses on the brother Rowan. The second book is about the oldest brother, Lachlan. It's called Lark and Leather. And then the last one is about the youngest brother. It's called Scythe and Sparrow. And the youngest brother, Theon, is a doctor. So it's Scythe and Sparrow.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, a lot of fun. I know this most recent one that just came out has to do with the girl Sparrow. Her name's Rose. She had been with a circus. And so there's a lot of fun stuff around that. Fun. But just a lot of like humor, romance, dark suspense. So if you're looking for something like that, if that, interests you, she's on Instagram as Brynne_Weaver and on TikTok at Brynne Weaver Books. But it was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to move on to the second book, Lark and Leather. I was reading on her author page, she writes about just complicated humans, like how morally
gray kind of stuff. That's what it sounded like when you talked about it.
Yeah, that they're still lovable.
It was really interesting to me because knowing what you normally read is a little more trad contemporary romance.
True.
I love to hear you kind of expanding and doing something a little darker. And I mean, you like the medical stuff anyway. And
I do, and there was a lot in this one. Yeah,
a lot of it.
Dissection for sure. But yeah, just is another female focused story, which I loved. I know it is about these brothers, but really it is the women of the books that are the focus. Just they're complex, they're resilient, they're imperfect, they struggle with those morally gray issues.
Yeah, I mean,
anger, trauma. Yeah, so just something interesting if you want to check her out. That's our author of the week.
So to put you on the spot,
of
what you read, what kind of stuff would you want to pull through? I know you just mentioned a couple of things about, the strong woman and all that kind of thing, but is there anything that you thought, man, this would be a neat theme, or, oh, they really did this really well, I would love to pull it into our book?
Yeah, I think pushing this area of the morally gray was helpful for me because I've told you this before. I don't like shows where the characters are just bad people. Like I think It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a funny show, but I just could never really get into it once I realized like, oh, they're just bad people. Like they don't have redeeming qualities.
It's almost like we have enough of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why my brain and so it was fun to like, you kind of fall for these characters first before you realize like, oh, they do this really bad stuff. And so I think that was helpful for me of just, we've talked before in the earlier podcast is like, I don't want our characters to be one-dimensional or to be pigeonholed as certain things. And so I like this idea of just having some kind of complicated stuff that maybe they've had to work through, or past histories that they're coming from, the baggage that they bring with them. I think it definitely made me think.
I think that's interesting. From the writing perspective, it sounds like, the hero versus the anti-hero. Right? The idea that you have your squeaky clean hero who may have a couple of flaws here and there versus your anti-hero who you're kind of rooting for the bad guy sometimes, on purpose, and it's fine, and that's what you're there for.
I do like a bad boy. The other thing I really liked...
You're welcome.
I know. You're the bad boy. The other thing I really liked that she did, that a couple of other authors that I've read have done, is that there was a playlist at the beginning of the book.
Oh, yeah.
That was broken out by chapter. And so Abby Jimenez did that with Happy Ever After playlist. And with that one, as I read it, I would play the song that was at the beginning of each chapter and listen to it before I started the chapter. With this one, I read the whole book. And then as I was driving around, I was listening to the playlist. And it was really fun because it felt like the vibe of the book. And I was like, oh, I could have listened to this before as well, to kind of get into like the mentality of the author and the book and the characters. And so
that's interesting.
That's something that might be fun to incorporate too, as some kind of a playlist. I told you it was a very spicy book. The song that was titled for that, or that was, for that spicy chapter when they first get together, it was a kind of a slow burn getting to that, but it was called Heaven by Julia Michaels, and I was listening to it as I was driving, and I loved the chorus lyric was like, good, it was something like, good boys go to heaven, but bad boys bring heaven to you. And I was like, oh goodness, yeah,
that's a good one.
That is spicy. Yeah, so I like, and it fit very well with that chapter. So that was something too that I thought might be fun to bring in. But it also made me think about, with our romance stuff, how detailed will we be when we get to that point about those scenes, if it's open door, closed door, and what level of spice do we want? And
I don't know.
So something to be thinking about for future stuff. But that's Brynne Weaver, our author of the week.
Brynne Weaver. Go follow Brynne.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, everywhere.
As we close out, I just think the listeners, the feedback that we've gotten has been so helpful, and something that when we go and we talk about our ideas, and
we've been really struggling with this,
is how much to share as we do start making more decisions. Like, do you guys want to know everything? Do you want all the secrets? So when you get to reading the book, you just know it all.
You already know what's happening,
and you feel like,
these are people along the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If you want us to save some secrets, like that's where we're struggling right now. Like, do you want spoiler-free content? Do you want us to say when we're going to be giving out some spoilers or sneak peeks?
I think right now where my brain is on that is that we'll give some high-level stuff, like character, maybe this character, that character, maybe a couple of
plot
points.
Yeah.
I just, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but also something we're going to learn together is that it's not a linear writing process. The writing process is never linear, right? You start to pull in, we have a character over here and a character over here, and we start to do like we did with the game the other day, where we start to see how they mash up together, what's going to make the most interesting plot, and then start to fill in the holes a little bit. So we'll see. We'll have to see. But I would love to hear.
Yeah, keep telling us what you think, what you, want to hear. If you have other ideas or things you like or don't like, we want to hear it all. Just find us on Instagram at Our Next Chapter Podcast.
That's it. And if you're listening, go ahead, please share with friends. We've actually had really good numbers to pull the curtain back a little bit, but I think, let's continue to share and grow this thing.
Review so maybe us, we can rate us.
Yeah, review and rate. Maybe we can end up at Steamy
LitCon, in Halloween.
On Halloween.
But yeah, please send us your messages and let us know what you think. And thank you again for listening.
Sweetheart, I just want to thank you for bringing the heat today. I love you.
You are not a safe space. Until next time, I love you.
I love you.